What were your kind of early influences in music, and how did you first get into disco?
My parents were big music lovers, and my mother is a music teacher as well, and so they were collecting vinyls and music. As I was a kid, they took me to concerts from Moby, from Phil Collins and other guys, so I grew up with really quality music.
When you finished school, was it an immediate transition to decide you want to work in music?
I had two school friends, then we decided to start making parties at the school, and so we collected money and bought the first turntables and mixer, and then we started making parties in the school.
There's obviously a big gap from someone who wants to play some records and DJ to their school friend to then making records, essentially. When was it you decided you wanted to start producing and making records?
That was actually at the same time. So I was really into music, into electronic music, and I was always interested how to create music, how to write and produce music. And I started with a program was called Fruity Loops or something like this, music on a really low level. So I still have CDs with these old songs. Sometimes I listen to this and it's just loud about. But it's, I mean, everyone have to start.
Can we talk about Body Funk and kind of how that record came to be and kind of the story of that record?
Body Funk just started as a mashup. I had this a cappella since many years, and I was always a fan of Hot Streak and this a cappella, and I had this instrumental with this simple Italo disco bass line, and then I mashed both up and it worked well, and then I played it in my sets, and as I said, it started as a mashup for my own sets, and it did so well that yeah, we released it, and I had no expectations, but it worked really well. And after 2 years now, it's still growing.
Can you give us some background on your connection with Glitterbox and how it began?
I think it began a few years ago as I got the request to play a few Glitterbox shows on Ibiza, that time at Space. And I played many shows for Defected already, but then the Glitterbox brand was growing, and I mean, I play every week and really good shows, but playing a Glitterbox show is really special for me, as it feels that the crowd is really educated, really into house and disco music.
Let's talk a little bit about the new compilation, which comes on Glitterbox. I think it's in April time. It's obviously such a different thing to making a record or doing a remix or creating an essential mix. How do you even go about putting a life's work of records into one album, one compilation?
This time I felt for the first time it's the right fit with Glitterbox and Purple Disco Machine to put a compilation together. But it took a few weeks to find the right playlist, to find the right tracks for the compilation. I wanted to do something special, to find a good mix of old disco classics, so my influences, and the new songs or the new house and disco stuff from nowadays. So I think that was for me the most complicated thing, to find the right balance of old stuff and new.
And to kind of round things up, what's next for Purple Disco Machine?
I'm started working on my second album, and it's quite interesting and refreshing after all this touring action last year, to go back to the studio and writing songs with friends and with other singers and top liners. So I think it's going to be really exciting.
Well, however you're doing it and whatever the method is at the moment, you're one of our absolute standout guys for making contemporary disco. It sounds fresh. We have 18-year-olds dancing to your music and 30, 40-year-olds. So
that's true. Yeah, it's an
amazing
Thanks.
time.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tino.
Thanks.